If you don't enjoy watching Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and this OKC Thunder team playing basketball, then I don't know what to tell you. I think you're a hater. You can bring up how many free throws he shoots all you want. I don't care. He drives the ball more than anybody in the league the past 5 seasons, including this one. So if you don't like the way this team plays, then I don't know what to say to you. I mean, I can try to convince you, but this team is absolutely phenomenal. And they showed that once again tonight, going up 2-0 against the Minnesota Timberwolves. In game 1, the second half was really where they took over the game. It was a rough first half from Shai in game 1. He picked it up in the second half. That team defense just got going. And also in game 1, the Minnesota Timberwolves bench, I'm talking about Dante DiVincenzo, Naz Reid, and Nickeil Alexander-Walker, they were not good in that game at all. In this game, things were different in that first quarter. Now, Shai got celebrated for his MVP last night and also for tonight at the game in front of the home crowd, which is, it was amazing to see, right? And we've had such an amazing streak of MVP winners, and I think that will continue in this league. So it was a bit of an emotional night. You don't know how a young team, yes, they won 68 games. You don't know how they're going to respond, but this team has been battle tested through a lot of scenarios thus far throughout this postseason already. And this game was just one of them as well. In that first quarter, it was a concerted effort to get downhill for Anthony Edwards. Last game, he only had 18 points. His average shot distance was 25 feet, which is just not good. And yes, he was the best three-point shooter in the league this year. Tonight, he was making a concerted effort to get downhill. His three ball has not been falling as much as he'd wanted to, and he hasn't taken as many attempts, so that enabled for him to get downhill and use his God-given athletic abilities, which he did very well in the first quarter. I believe at some point he had 8 points and 6 rebounds and 3 assists in that first quarter alone. Like, he was doing a very, very good job. And Dante DiVincenzo and Nickeil Alexander-Walker were hitting threes finally for this team, and that is something they have needed so badly during these playoffs, and they got it in that first quarter. Shai, he was really good in the first quarter as well, but still, Minnesota was still able to hang in this game. In that second quarter, though, is really where the game started to feel a little bit different, and from Shai in particular, he ended out this first half with 19 points on only 9 shots attempted. Now, Anthony Edwards, not too bad himself. He had 18 points, but it was on a lot of shots taken. I believe it was 16 or something like that, maybe even 19. He took a lot of shots, but I mean, that was the game plan coming into this game, was to get him some good looks, and that ended up happening. So the first half, it was really good basketball from both teams. OKC, they continue to be this great team despite their bad three-point shooting, and I believe they were only 4 for 20 in the first half with their three-point shooting, which was just absolutely abysmal. Actually, I can check that right now. So they ended up shooting 4 for 20 in the first half. That's bad, and especially in today's NBA, you'd be surprised to not be down by double digits at halftime with the way that they shot the three ball. But this OKC team, it does not matter if their three ball is falling or not. They are going to stick onto you like glue defensively, not make a ton of mistakes, and just be so sound with their decisions, especially in the late game as well. But to end that first half, I mean, it was pretty much a pretty close game. Minnesota was down by a few points, but you had a good feeling of where they were, and you can kind of feel if they can stay close into this game and make a concerted effort to make sure that Gobert can play in the last final minutes, anything can happen, right? Cold streaks happen from teams. OKC is not, invincible to those cold streaks, and Minnesota was doing a good job at halftime. In the third quarter, that's really where the game changed, and you can kind of see how just different this team is from really any other team. First of all, you're going to start with your MVP player, Shai. 11 points. He played every single minute in that third quarter. 4 for 6 from the field, only shot 3 free throws, right? For a foul merchant, somebody who flops and gets to the line all the time, right? Which is not true. He only had 3 free throws, and he still dominated that quarter. That's just what MVP type players do, and you were starting to see him just get into his bag. Every time he takes a mid-range jumper, I think it's going in, and he had a few rim in and out, but tonight, he was still incredibly efficient in that third quarter. And then for the Thunder as a whole, shooting 56% from the field in that quarter will not hurt at all. And their defense, once again, ramping up. They had 16 points in the paint. They had 8 fast break points, which another crazy thing to point out was Minnesota had 0 in game 1, that's insane. But I'm getting off topic. OKC would fit 8 points off of fast breaks. They had 3 steals. They were passing the ball very well and rebounding very well. Chet was making his presence felt in that third quarter. Chet was amazing. And you start to see these past 2 games, even with dealing with the size of Gobert, Chet has just started to play like, he's starting to play like a star. And, he's always going to be a star. He's a superstar defensively. But offensively, you've been waiting for him to hit threes. You've been waiting for him to get downhill, use his length. And he was being more and more patient. Richard Jefferson pointed that out on the broadcast. Once you get the ball down in the paint, just be calm. Just take your time. You have 3 seconds in there. And he was doing that. He had a backdoor cut where he caught it, immediately went up. That was a beautiful play, but he caught it a few times under there, waited a second, made a move, went up, and laid it in. You got to be patient when you have the ball under there. And Chet not having, a huge frame at all. I think I may weigh as much as Chet. That's crazy. He was just being patient and decisive. He was changing a lot of shots at the rim, making some great plays. And then Shai, he had a steal. It led to, I believe, Cason Wallace picking it up and throw a lob up to Chet, and he throws it down. It probably should have been an and one, but that was an amazing play. And plays like that at home, especially for a young team with so much energy and so much bounce, so much athleticism, that really can change games. And you can kind of feel Minnesota was a little defeated, and in particularly a guy who really was struggling for Minnesota. And I would feel a little defeated if I was him, but he has been a professional this season, and he's changed a lot over these playoffs, was Julius Randle. He was garbage in this game. I believe he shot 2 of 11 from the field. That's not a recipe for success, especially when Ant McDaniels, and then you finally get some production from Nickeil Alexander-Walker. You finally get some production from Dante DiVincenzo. Naz Reid has given you a little bit with his float game and stuff like that. And Julius Randle just did not show up tonight. 2 of 11 from the field, did not play the entire fourth quarter, was still competing defensively. But when Julius Randle's not giving you anything, especially with how good he's been in these playoffs and how it's gotten you to this, gotten you to the Western Conference Finals because of how ridiculous he's been. At times, he's been the best player on the floor for them. When he's giving you 2 of 11 and throwing cross-court passes that Caruso's picking off, that Cason Wallace is picking off, it's hard to play him, even with his strength and everything like that. Lou Dort was able to match up with him, and same thing with J Dub, I should say. And then in that fourth quarter, more the same, right? This team just continued to get in the paint despite Rudy Gobert being there. And I think that's just because they're such a smart passing team that it really didn't matter sometimes if Rudy Gobert was in there. Isaiah Hartenstein, you always know he's going to have that float game, but even the guards were getting in there and just making great decisions, which I think is such a valuable attribute of this team, a very valuable characteristic, and just how they play. And again, in that fourth quarter, Shai, he was only 2 for 6, but he got to the line. He made 4 of his 6 free throws. He had 8 points. He was in a little bit of foul trouble. He picked up 5. He fouled Nickeil on a rebound, just grabbing his shoulder. Just a silly foul, stuff like that. Not Naz Reid. Jaden McDaniels was just frustrated. Just shoved the shit out of him. It happens. You probably should not do that. They were kind of in the middle of making a little bit of a run to get back in the game entirely. It'll happen. I'm glad McDaniels cares a lot about the game, but probably not a silly mistake like that you should make. In that fourth, Ant started to get it going once again. He had a big first half in terms of scoring, and then the second half he continued it. He had 16 in the second half, so 16 in the first half, 16 in the second half, I believe. He was getting the job done for this team. There's no doubt about it. Ant was doing his thing. Jaden McDaniels finished with 22. Like I said, Nickeil Alexander-Walker had a great game. He had 17 points, shot 62% from the field. Naz Reid, he wasn't efficient, but he gave you 10 points and 8 rebounds. That's something you'll take from Naz Reid. And then DiVincenzo gave you 8 points, hit a few threes, I believe. I think he hit 2. Yeah, he did hit 2. Mike Conley hit a 3 for them. I'm not gonna lie, Mike Conley, dude. He might have to he's gonna have to give it up after this season. He's not out there moving well. J-Dub was going at him over and over again, and really J-Dub was absolutely phenomenal tonight, and was the perfect second option. He finishes with 26 points, 10 rebounds, 5 assists, shot 62% from the field. He was getting in the mid-range. They started to double Shai or just come send a trap at Shai. J-Dub was quick to get to his spot, get to that mid-range, or just attack downhill and be aggressive. I mean, he went at Gobert a few times, and I'm thinking, that's not a great decision, but he is so fast and he's so strong. He's able to finish downhill almost every single time at the cup. So really, really good game from J-Dub. Lou Dort gave you a few threes. Kassaw Wallace, at 22 years old, he's one of those guys that feels like Alex Caruso. He's not going to wow you on the stat sheet, but his impact is insane. Could be an All-NBA defender soon. They have 2 of them already announced today with Lou Dort and J-Dub. Caruso, again, just giving his full effort. Fouled out with 6 fouls. Picked up some really weird fouls that I didn't think he really deserved to be called for. But, ended up with 9 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists. Had a great impact in the game. Isaiah Hartenstein, another great impact in this game. Didn't really have a fancy stat sheet. 6 points, 8 rebounds, a couple assists, but 60% from the field. Had a few flip shots, just being physical. And then Aaron Wiggins, Isaiah Joe, and Kendrick Williams, nothing from them, and they still won this game really with ease. And I think that's a huge testament to how good Shai is. Listen, I'm not willing to put him over Jokic and Giannis. I mean, those two guys are just, I feel like they're on a tier of their own. But he might be entering that tier of Giannis and Jokic. Like Jokic, there are some defects with his game, right? His defense is terrible. Giannis, really, at this point in his career, like the only thing he can't do is shoot free throws and threes, and he doesn't need to. He averaged like 36 and 15 and 6 in that Pacers series on like 63% shooting. His defense is great. I know you had the Halliburton get to the rim against them, which is the plan all along. But Shai, his two-way impact, you can see it in these games. He's a great rim protector for a guard. He's got incredible hands. He's a smart defender. He knows where to play. He's in the gaps. He's in the passing lanes. Shai, I think he deserves to be in that upper echelon. Damn, I can't speak. That upper echelon of NBA players up there with Jokic and Giannis. And I think he's better than Luka. He's not as great as an offensive player, which is crazy to say because, he's averaging, he just had 38 on 57% shooting with 8 assists. That was his 5th straight game of 30 points or more. He just averaged 32 points per game on like 50, 40, 90 splits damn near. But, I think Luka's obviously the best offensive player. Jokic is probably the best, but Luka's second. His defense is ass, so I don't think Shai, has really any competition within that regard. It's debatable a little bit. Really, those top 4, I think, are just kind of solidified. I would put Tatum at 5, but I'm getting too deep into this. There's no doubt about it. I think Shai is just so good that this team just needs to do their job defensively. Their floor is so high because of how well they defend and how much they hustle, that when Shai has it going, that's a 55 to 58 win team. When the other guys have it going like J-Dub and Chet, that's a damn near 70 win team, and they've shown you that this season. And in this postseason, they've grown so much as a team. I was worried at times in that Denver Nuggets series, but man, they have grown. And Shai, he deserves all of the love he gets. You can hate on him all you want. We hate on everybody. I've hated on Tyrese Halliburton. He's shutting me up. I've hated on Joel Embiid. He dropped 50 on one knee. You can hate on James Harden. I'll let you hate on James Harden. But you just need to appreciate how good he is as a player. I'm kind of getting off. I'm going on a tangent about how good Shai is, and I'm glazing, but it's deserved glaze. He is a phenomenal player. One of the most unstoppable guys we've ever seen. Late in the game, they were throwing damn near doubles, and he's dribbling away from the double, getting downhill, making the right play almost every single time. So what I'm trying to say is you better respect Shai and this OKC team. Before they rack up a couple of championships. This year, I would be very surprised if they don't win it all. I would be really surprised if they don't win it all. I think they're gonna win it all. So I mean, that's just my opinion. Good game for OKC. It's always fun to watch them run around. For the sake of being a fan, I hope Minnesota gets a game or two just so we can make it a little competitive. But if not, man, I mean, I'm ready to see OKC in the finals, whether it's the Pacers or the Knicks. Man, I got them taking care of either team in 5. Like, I really do. This team is just amazing. So yeah, that's really all I had to say. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys next time. Let me know what you think down below about how OKC has dominated these first 2 games. Peace.